Bush presidency had such a dramatic impact on U.S. relations and really the perception of the U.S. around the world. But I think it would be wrong to blame the Bush administration for the current financial crisis in its entirety. The seeds of the issues that became very apparent in the mid-2000s really started in the mid-1990s under the Clinton administration, and even could be traced back to the deficit financing that was introduced by Reagan in the 80s. So certainly Bush as a regime or as an administration has not been responsible for all of the ills that we're currently experiencing. In a similar fashion, there's no way that President Obama will be responsible for bringing the world out of the current crisis. There's a concerted effort by central banks and governments around the world to address the crisis. And certainly the U.S. has to take the lead because as the largest economy by far, the U.S. still is going to exert undue influence over the global economy. But it certainly isn't going to be one president or one set of policies that's going to bring us out of this current situation. Investing based on expectations of the stimulus plan is going to be very challenging, I think, because the immediately obvious themes, infrastructure, for example, commodities to a degree and whatnot, I think has already been somewhat priced into the market because there's been an awful lot of talk about the stimulus plans. I think there are a couple of things that people need to be aware of, though, and perhaps be cognizant of. If the stimulus plans are successful in reflating the global economy or in at least avoiding deflation, it will create a better climate for businesses globally. Better climate for businesses globally would generally lead to increased spending on things like productivity improvements, which basically leads people towards the technology field. So I think technology is one of the primary areas that would benefit if the stimulus packages are indeed successful, and is someplace that people should maybe think about orienting parts of their portfolios at this point. One of the major areas that I think people need to be cognizant of in terms of avoiding, if the stimulus packages are indeed successful, is government debt. It's almost insanely low yields on treasuries at this point are probably unsustainable and would probably be one of the first things that would start to correct if economic certainty or if economic confidence returned, because a risk appetite would return, and nobody with a risk appetite would be investing in treasuries at a 2% yield. It's a good time to be diversified. It's a good time to understand exactly what you own in your portfolio, and it's a good time to not make too many assumptions about where you think things will go, because if the last 6 or 8 months have taught us anything, it's that uncertainty is very prevalent right now. I think we'll get in fairly short order an idea about how President Obama is going to perform in office. It certainly is a fascinating time in the financial markets, but I would caution anybody against expecting an immediate positive impact, certainly, or an immediate negative impact following the confirmation, because I think much of what will be done in the short term is already out in the market currently. What I think people should look for over the next couple of quarters is that the appropriate steps are being taken to create the building blocks for a sustainable economic recovery in the future. And if Obama and his team are capable of accomplishing that, then we'll be off to a very good start.